Okay, so these are going to, or I guess this video is just going to be another video where it's just about my goth cliches, and yeah, so, I already made a part 1, and I'm making a part 2 because I have a lot more, so, Anyways, I guess let's start with the first one, and it is that I like crows and ravens. It's a cliche that goth people just really like crows or ravens or whatever, so, you know, yeah, they're like just all black bird, and they like get hated on by people because they're not like songbirds or anything, and it's kind of sad. Um, and like also, it's kind of like, you know, they don't, yeah, they don't sound like songbirds, so people hate them. But also, it seems like a lot of people get confused on which is raven and which is crow, but it's not that hard to actually tell once you like know the difference. Because like ravens are a lot bigger than crows, and also ravens have like the fuzzy part on their beak, like when it meets their face, like it's kind of fuzzy around there, and then also their beak is more like rounded at the end or whatever. Um, Also with like the feathers on like their tail, it goes out differently. You can really tell when they're flying the different shape of like their wings and their tail. So that's another way you can tell if it's a crow or a raven. So yeah. Anyways, gonna go to the second one, and that is that I like scary and dark things. I have always liked scary stuff and dark things, like ever since I was a kid. I always liked like Halloween and like Monster High, and um, I've always kind of liked bats, and I'm gonna like obviously bring some stuff up later in this video and whatever. But yeah, like I've always liked like any whatever stuff that has to do with being like dark stuff. Anyways, and then like also colors. I always liked darker colors and stuff like that. Also like growing up and watching stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas or Corpse Bride, Coraline, like all these like kids horror movies. I've always kind of liked those things. Growing up watching like Invader Zim or Courage the Cowardly Dog, always loved those cartoons as a kid. So yeah, always liked that kind of stuff. Also, number 3 kind of goes into that where it's like Addams Family. Of course, I'm gonna like Addams Family. I kind of grew up watching Addams Family, so I liked that as a kid too. So it's just another thing to add on to like whatever. Um, and then number 4, the number 4th cliche is that I'm a loner. I've always been a loner ever since I was a kid, so a lot of this stuff it's just like ever since I was a kid. So I've always been a goth kid, I guess. Number 5, of course, I have to say that I love Halloween. So it's always been the best holiday. No other holiday even compares to Halloween. So don't even try to fight me on this. And then number 6 is I have a whole entire book full of Edgar Allan Poe stories and poems. So, yeah, I got that a while ago, so, kind of cool there. Number 7 is kind of similar to that, where it's another book, and it's the book where it's just like Dracula with that story, so, I'm like, I don't think there'd be any other version except for the normal original version, so, there's that. And then number 8 is another one where it's books. I actually have 2 books full of like horror movie or horror stories, horror books, which I'm pretty sure Dracula is also in those books. I have technically 2 different whatever for Dracula, and I'm pretty sure Frankenstein is in one of those too, so at least in one of them, so still have that. I actually kind of want to get Frankenstein as like a book itself and not just have it be in like a thing that's full of other stories, so yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. Number 9, like I said before, I like Monster High, so yeah, I always kind of liked Monster High since I kind of started getting into it a little bit. Like, I kind of knew of it a little bit, and then all of a sudden I was kind of just like, got more into it, and I was like, this is awesome. Why didn't I get into this before? So, you know, I kind of liked it ever since I kind of like was like, what is this kind of thing? Like, I knew of it, but then I didn't really get into it until a little bit later, and then I was like, why didn't I get into this sooner? So yeah, and then the last one is that I like nighttime. I've always liked nighttime. I always liked going outside when it was dark out and like the moon is out, and it's like in the summer it's like warm but also like cool. It's not too warm, and like it's dark outside, the moon is out, the stars are out. It's great. It's the best time ever. So yeah, I don't know why my part 1 video was so long, but this video is a little bit shorter. I kind of wanted to get through it a little bit faster, so you know, yeah. So anyways, I guess that'll be kind of it for this video. So yeah, I guess bye then.